that recording. So we're excited to provide this great new series on careers and degrees. It's going to be every Friday at 1 o'clock, and you're going to just be visiting the same link that you came to today. Today's session on career assessment, exploration, and planning is going to be presented by Ms. Carla Cardosa, who's the Director of Career and Transfer Services here at EPCC. So again, this session is recorded so that you will be able to come back to it later if you need to. And so others who may have missed out on today's events will be able to also watch it. So I'll be sharing that information on how to find this and other recordings after our session today. I'm also going to be providing some links in the chat box so that you'll be able to sign up for some Tejano Passport points for attending these workshops. And then I'll also be submitting a link in there so that you'll be able to find out more about tutoring opportunities we have here at El Paso Community College. So thank you all again for coming. And if you'll make sure that you mute your mics, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand at the bottom of the screen, the little person raising their hand, or you can click on the purple bubble on the right-hand side and open up your chat box and send us a chat message. So we'll go ahead and get started. So we welcome our presenter, Ms. Carla Cardosa.
Thank you, Christine. Hi, everybody. Again, my name is Carla Cardosa, and I work with the Career and Transfer Services Department at the college. And I wanted to start first with some nice things to talk about. So in order to make it more engaging, I was hoping that I could see as many people that I could see. That way I don't feel that I'm just talking to myself or I'm talking to the computer, even though I do that sometimes. But it would be great if I could see your faces and, and we can go from there. Also, if you have any questions, just ask, at any point, like Christine said, raise your hand, ask the question, give us your comments. Don't wait until I ask, or don't wait until we finished. So also, if I see you and you could do any kind of gestures, I mean, good ones for the most part, like thumbs down, thumbs up, if you want to tell me, what I'm saying is looser, that would be good too. But so let me know what you're thinking as we go through the presentation. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the presentation. Those were some kind of housekeeping things. But so what we're going to do today, we're going to be discussing career development for anybody who has yet decided on a career. And at Career and Transfer Services, we do career planning, we do career exploration and career assessment, and also we do job professional development. And what that means is that we tie it together, and also transfer services. We tied everything together because everything has to do with the life of a cycle of a student and the important things they need to do. For the most part, our students after graduating from high school, they're going to be either going straight to work, going to the military if they decide to do that, do a vocational or technical school, go to one of those, or with us, a 2-year community college, or directly into a 4-year university. And some might decide not to do anything. However, we always try to tell all students and all potential students that what determines your future is the choices that you make early on. That's what determines your destiny. So I'll start with a little, let's see, hold on. Okay, well, this was supposed to appear one by one, but I guess it's not doing it. So anyways. I usually want to start with students by telling them a little bit about myself, how I decided to go into the degree that I got into, and how career planning is not an easy cookie cutter thing. It's just something that you need to develop, something that you need to be really working on and thinking about. And if you do it early on, that will be even better. The reason we want students to start thinking about choosing a career, a major, is early, it's because we don't want them to go into the bad consequences of not doing it. For example, taking too many classes that will not be able to be used for their degree, or taking too many classes that will not be able to be transfer. And we will have, like Christine said, through the whole semester, you will get to hear from a lot of different experts, the counseling department and different other people about um, some of these things, what makes a career, a major, the associate of arts, associate of applied sciences, and they'll discuss all of those things. And these are some of the things that we discuss with our students. And for us, it's very important to do one-on-one and really talk to them, because choosing a career is very important. And knowing what is going to be acceptable at the transfer institution, because it's not only that if it transfers, if in all essence, everything transfers to different universities, to different institutions. But if you want to go, for example, to UTEP, you want to know if it applies to your degree that you've decided to do long term. Okay, so one way to do it, of course, is just, old-fashioned way, fun, laughing about what we do. Usually people will ask you, what you're good at, and you could say, I'm good at math skills and problem solving, and then people would say, well, then you could be a great engineer. Why don't you go into engineering? And then if you have good problem solving skills and people skills, people usually say, well, why don't you go into management? That would be a great thing for you. And if you're into people skills and drinking, maybe you could go into sales, right? We love people who are outgoing and have all these people skills. Um, Again, if you have math skills and you're somewhat OCD like me, you could go into accounting, and go into that career, into that field. Or if you're OCD and heartless, maybe human resources is for you. Um, and then the last one is if you're heartless and you like to drink, maybe you could be a lawyer. So, there's a lot of things that we do, and we do it informally, but there is a way to do it formally and to do it in a more serious manner. So let me just show you a video. I want to show you a video. Okay. Hold on. Let me see. Well, it doesn't seem like it's working, the video that I was going to show you. But it's a video about, how we sometimes look at things, how they're going to happen in our lifetime, and how the reality is. So the reality of a lot of the things that we do is that it takes time. Again, it's complicated, it's complex. We're not the only ones who haven't gone through this. For the most part, lots of people have gone through this same process. So the sometimes people imagine, like they tell us in high school, you're going to graduate high school, you're going to go into college, you're going to graduate in 2 years or 4 years, depending on the career you chose. And then you're going to get a job, and then you're going to be married, and then you're going to be happily ever after. So we know that that's just not the reality. The reality of things is that things will happen. You probably will be graduating. If you do graduate from high school, you might take time off because you just can't go directly into school. You need to work. You might just start working and then go into school half time, or you might go into school full time and then drop out because you need to take a break. So there's a lot of things that happen. So nothing's linear, and this whole process is very fluid. Everything changes. One of the realities too is that 60% of the students who graduate from high school and go into higher education, 60% of them, that's 6 out of 10, have no career goals, have no major, or they do have a major, in mind, or they declare a major because of financial aid purposes, they apply Texas, but still deciding really in real life, what they want to do and have no plan. So we know that for a fact. A lot of students think they do have a plan because they think about it, and they usually have said, "Oh yeah, I want to be a teacher," and they think that's the end of the career planning um, portion of it. And again, ask me questions or raise your hand, or so we could make this more engaging. Okay. So is it normal? I mean, especially with their students, they ask this question, I just don't want to ask because it seems like I'm the only one having problems. I'm the only one not knowing. Everybody in my class knows. And that is not the reality. It is normal. The common feelings of students is for, everybody gets asked since we're little kids, right? Since we're 4, or since we can talk, what are you going to do when you grow up? What is it that you like? And you usually change our answer very often. We want to be doctors, we want to be cops, we want to be firefighters, we want to be everything in the spectrum of all careers, right? um, and it depends on what we're watching or what we're listening to, what we see, what our parents are doing. um, so the common feelings is that everybody's is always asking you what major, how do you feel about it, and why did you get to that um, conclusion. So this is normal for them, and also they need to know that it's normal that the average person changes careers 2 to 3 times in their lifetime, or even more. We all remember when there was a time where our generations past, they would stay in a job forever. They will get a good job, and then they were there and they will retire from that job. Well, things have changed. Everything evolves, everything changes. And of course, we change jobs, we change careers. We might then totally change careers altogether, that they don't look the same. Or we might change jobs in the same career. So we should just know this, and we should also know that we should listen to others for their advice, and in order to put it in their and all the perspective of the career planning. But they need to avoid getting caught up in what they should do. They should avoid that. They should avoid that getting, my dad said I should be an engineer, so that's what I'm going to do. Any family expectations, unless they're yours, and we'll go through that specifically, then you just need to not get caught up on that. And that will help a lot. Okay. So we need to discuss, and we discussed with students, majors versus jobs. What's a major? What's a job? What's a career? Because it's somewhat confusing, or we just use the same word for everything, and that's not what we mean. So for us, majors versus jobs, well, a major is a plan of study. Your college guide. It outlines, of course, the courses that are required to get a specific degree. And college majors are organized in different classes, for example, subjects. It could be English, biology, or professional fields, nursing, pre-law, teaching. So majors are very different than jobs, because jobs is just basically what we do at a certain place. So, for example, if I could have somebody raise their hand and tell me what they think the job is for a career and transfer services advisor. Manny? Social work. Manny put social work. That this job description is for social work. Okay, anybody else? Anything different? Counseling. Patricia, share with us the counseling. Anything else? One last. Okay. Well, yeah, it has to do with both, and with other things too. A career and transfer services advisor is basically somebody who has to have um, counseling traits, skills, talking to students, listen to them, be empathetic with them, Also social work. Of course, you end up, you'd be surprised, we end up talking about many different things than just careers or job searching or transfer. We talk about many things that have to do with the life of the students, the experiences that they have, what has led them to this point at that time in their life, to where they are. We have to discuss very serious subjects, like, for example, some of our students are homeless. And that's hard to wrap around sometimes because they're here trying to move forward and try to figure out a career plan, uh, while at the same time they're going through difficult times. So yes, there's a lot of social work involved in this. Also, there's a lot of economic stuff going on. The advisors, we call them CATS because of the acronym Career and Transfer Services. CATS advisors, they usually have to know about what careers are trending, which ones have disappeared, which ones are going to be hot in 10 years, which ones are not. A lot of that information is important, especially in such a changing world that we live in. Okay. So one of the main questions is, does my major have to relate to a specific career? And the answer is not necessarily. Okay. Most majors do not lead to a specific job by design. So some do. For example, in the medical field, if you're going to be a nurse, you're going to be a nurse. Um, but it might not tell you specifically the job that you are going to be end up doing, but it tells you more or less that you're going into that. If you do a career in liberal arts, then you need to know that you might end up in a different kind of job that you didn't have in mind. For example, let me give you an example. Myself, my degree was in public relations when I was um, my undergraduate degree. And, I had other ideas about what I was going to do. However, some of the skills and interests and values that I have did go into my master's, which is master's in public administration. So public administration, has a lot of things related to public relations. It's not the same. And now I'm working in the Career and Transfer Services department. So, some they might not lead specifically to the job, but they do, but sometimes they don't. Okay. Also, there's an exception. There's careers that require a license or certificate, and this is important to also talk to people about, to students, to potential students about. There are careers that you must pass the license and have certain requirements to get the certificate. For example, teaching, right? So if there are some experiences in your life that you have that prevents you from doing this, then you might not get the license or the certification. So it's important to discuss all these things with the student in a one-on-one and just talking about it. Also, according to a survey conducted by the University of Illinois, 80% of workers in the US are in a career field not directly related to their major. And that's okay, because when we're talking about majors and degrees, also we're talking about skills. And we'll go through the skills and what that means. But so it's okay. We develop or we evolve through our career life, but there are certain things that you do need to know when you are choosing a career. Okay. So also the average person changes careers, like we said, and so that is another thing they need to consider, the skills and your interests and your values more than anything. Okay. Any questions so far? No. Okay. So this is just to follow with the previous slide. There are people who have psychology majors working in public relations, or they have English major. We have English majors who become doctors, or music majors who become math teachers. So it just depends on the different evolution of your plan. And that's why career plan does not end, or, it doesn't start and end at a certain point. You need to keep working on it through your whole life, basically. Okay. So just so that it's sad to know, especially for us, who work in career and career services departments across the nation or the world, to think about people investing more time in planning their future material lives, like, oh, who am I going to marry, which house I'm going to buy, which car I'm going to buy, what the vacation I'm going to be taking, rather than the planning of a career. So what I mean by that is, how many of you just, for vacations, you just pick up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm going on vacation. So I'm just going to head out to the airport and then see where I go. I'll pick while I'm there. Anybody who will do that? No? Yeah, most of the time we don't do that. We plan our vacation and we plan it with time. We give it a lot of thought, we do a lot of research, we go into the internet and we look at different uh, places, prices, what's best, what we want to do. We spent a lot of time planning a vacation. And Norma just said that she'd rather plan the vacation. Yes, it's more fun, right? Because it's going to um, something fun. But let me ask you, what's going to pay for that vacation? It's more likely your career, right? The job that you're going to have. What kind of jobs you're going to have in order to pay for those vacations in the future. However, we do not spend a lot of time career planning. We don't. Sometimes we just want to get the answer with, maybe people have asked us, do you have any tests, assessments, career assessments that are like 3 minutes or 5 minutes? And we always tell them, there's always fun assessments online that you could do. They're cute and fun, but that is not really doing a career plan, and that's not really thinking formally and seriously about a career plan. So, we would like people to really see students to see the importance of planning a career and why that will help them in their life and in their future. So, like I said, so we spend a lot of my family is going to be like this. I'm going to have 2 kids. I'm going to have 3 different ideas that we have. So instead of talking about the importance of why we should do a plan, I want to focus right now on the consequences of not planning for a plan. And they're quite costly. If you don't plan for your career, if you don't have a career plan, you are going to have a feeling of being trapped in the major after you have picked the major, that you might realize, you know what, I don't really like it. I'm not good for this. I don't like the classes that I have to take. And so what happens at that point is that a lot of students, they change majors, right? They keep changing majors. But a bad consequence of that is that they are extending their years in college. So they're not going to graduate on time. Uh, they're going to be spending their financial aid more likely because they're taking classes that they're not going to be able to really put into a career. And then after they transfer, if they're in a degree that they want to transfer as a long-term plan, they might not have the money, so they're going to have to pay it out of pocket. So, excuse me. And then higher dropout rates. It's proven by research that people who have no plan, who do not know, have no idea, or have not researched what they really want to do, what they're really good on their skills and their interests and values, they have higher dropout rates. Again, because they feel lost. So those are the bad consequences of not, and there's more, but these are the ones that are of importance to let our students know. Okay. Oh my God, something's happening with it doesn't show like that for me, but it's showing like that for all of you. So I apologize about that. So suggestions before we start with the whole formal, career planning is that don't select just a career just because of what they pay. We get a lot of students who say, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer because I want to make a lot of money. So it's, and that doesn't mean that they can't be that, and that's what they want. But we really go through the whole motion of knowing if it's just the money, the value that you're putting in, or it's the skills, the career that you want to go into. Also, whoever's doing a career plan and assessment exploration shouldn't expect a quick, easy answer. It's not like that, and it usually takes time, and it takes and I don't mean time that it's time consuming and boring, but it takes time at different points, to look into different careers, to shadow different people, maybe to look into it and see how much it pays. So it takes that kind of time or process. So the career planning process requires time and effort. We let students know that it's not going to be, easy, especially because we're all different and we all have different skills, interests, and values. So we are going to we're going to try to do a good job, and we're going to try to tell them what is the best for them, and then they make the decision. Again, I want to emphasize, we don't tell them what they're going to be doing. We just give them the tools, and we help them look into their plan and to plan it out, and we're there to assist them. But we do not discourage either way if they're set on doing something and they think that's what they want, even though the assessment might show something different. Or we support the student and we tell them just what we have come up with in case they want to see it later. Um, they do need to use a variety of tools and talk to several people in each career of interest. That's the best thing that we tell students to do. You need to go and talk to somebody who's doing the job already, and don't just base it on TV. We have so many students that have this idea of CSI because they watched it on TV, or nowadays in Netflix, so many different series that people say, I want to do that exactly. And once they uh, interview or talk to a person who does the actual job, they feel kind of like, I thought it was more exciting, or I thought this and that. So we really emphasize the research part, or like really looking into it. And the last one is, don't get discouraged. Career planning is not precise science. So it's not like you have to hit certain things. And if you didn't, then, oh my God, then you already can't do anything about it. So it's not like that. Oh, this is it's shown that. I don't know why it's doing this, but okay. So the different career planning stages. Does anybody wanna does anybody have any questions? Sorry. No? Okay. So let me continue. So there's different stages of the career plan. So the first one is just self-analysis, and we'll go through them individually. The second is discover your career, the career assessment itself. Three is the career exploration, understand the world of work, develop a list of jobs to consider, evaluate job options. But also we need to look into number four. And you can't see it, and that's why I was trying to know what's going on with how I'm seeing it. Does anybody know what I should do to see the whole slide?
I think it's because it's in PowerPoint. When you put it in PDF, then you'll be able to see the whole slide, but I think in PowerPoint, it cuts it down like that.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So, okay. So is there any way I could see it myself and on the side though?
Just if you have it open on your computer, you'd have to switch between windows to look at it, probably.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. I apologize about that.
Sure,
So,
sure.
what was that?
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So then the fourth one is just to develop your career plan and take action on it. So you have to go through these stages. You have to really think about every stage and write it down and do the due diligence in each, by doing research. And then the last part is just basically put it in an action. However, when you do that, people think, "Oh, I finished, so I'll just put it in my, you know, in my notes, and then I'll leave it in the bookshelf, and then that's it." No, it's like for businesses or for institutions, a strategic plan. You need to look at it and act on it and make changes in order for it to work. If not, then it's not gonna work. Okay. So number one, the stage number one is the one that you have to do on your own. So basically, the one that you do on your own is self-analyze who you are. Knowing about yourself is the basis of career decision making. What are your interests? What are your skills? And what are your values? And again, we'll talk about values, skills, and interests right now. What's important to you about your work? What is it important? I mean, and you don't have to lie to yourself. We tell students about the assessment, and we'll do a little assessment right now, a 6-question assessment for everybody to do. It's just more for fun and something that you could start thinking about. But it is something that you don't have to lie to anybody about. A lot of people make the mistake of changing answers because they don't want to seem a certain way. They don't want to put value on money because, oh, that looks bad. They don't want to put more value on material things than family because then, oh, am I a bad person? So this is for you. This is not for anybody to judge. It's for you and for you to know what your strengths are, what your skills, your interests and values, and what is it that you're not interested in. So, you need to ask yourself, what do I like to do? What's my personality? What do I value? What is it that motivates me? What keeps me curious? What is it that makes me happy when I'm doing some kind of activity? That's what you need to know with self-analysis. So, for example, you look at different titles, job titles. That's something we tell students to do. Look at job titles and what is it that interests you about the title. I put some cute titles which are actually titles uh, in real life. But you look at something and you think, oh, that looks interesting. I'm gonna look at it, and then look at the description. Job titles have job descriptions, and they tell you basically what you're gonna be doing on a daily basis or what you're gonna be doing in your job, right? And then that way you could go ahead and say, yeah, that's something that interests me, but I haven't really developed that. I haven't really, I don't have those skills. Again, skills you could learn, certain skills you can learn, certain skills you have already. But again, if the values that are there that are not do not align to yours, then that's what's important to be looking at. I know Ninja software engineer sounds cool, and the robot whisperer, just like the dog whispers. So there's a lot of neat stuff out there, and that's what we tell students. Don't think about careers just by the title of the degree program or the major, because that's just the field you're going into, not necessarily the job that you'll be doing. Okay. Then interests. There are basic areas of interest which we discussed in the career assessment. Are you realistic? Are you artistic? Are you enterprising? And some of you have already heard this, and it's really knowing who you are. What do you like doing? What challenges do you like? What challenges do you? What experiences have you had in the past that you have enjoyed? What is it that you love to do? Those are your interests, and your skills. Oh, let me move. Oh, this looks horrible. I am so sorry that it's showing like that. Um, I'm looking at it in mine and it doesn't look like that. But so the skills, what things are you good at? This may include skills like skills that you have that you were trained for. Um, things that you learn because you were involved in certain social activities, or your aptitudes. Some people are born with certain talents and abilities, right? Um, we don't have it, and sometimes we're like, I can't do that, but people are born with certain talents and abilities, so those count too. What are your skills? Okay. Then we have your personality. This is something that some people might struggle with because how many of you have done the what color is my parachute? Anybody have heard of that? So Norma, you've done it. Do you want to share with us what color you were?
It's
Yes,
been
that
it's been so long that I forgot.
you forgot already.
But I did it like about 15 years ago, and it's like, man, it was kind of revealing, but I can't remember what my color was. Isn't that terrible?
No, no, it's not. And you know what? It's usually it's people don't like to be the orange. Everybody wants to be the blue one. Or the green one, because those are the ones that are outgoing, that are, that we associate with, oh, nice people. And orange is more like direct, more. And so yeah, I did mine not long ago, but because of what we do, the work that we do. But we tell students to do not focus, just if you've done any of these assessments, don't get so focus on, oh my god, I'm not a good person, and most importantly, do not get hung up on, oh, I don't want to be orange, so I'm going to change my answers, and that's what we tell everybody. That's the same with our career assessment. Just be truthful and answer like you feel, because your personality is what you are, and you need to know, and you do know, right? We all know what it is that we like and we don't like, and that's the whole point about learning about ourselves. Not to be changing it because I'm an orange and I don't want people to know that I'm an orange. And you would see that it's almost comical in some of the workshops that I've been with, is what color is your parachute? Because people change it. Like they come out orange and then all of a sudden, no, I made a mistake. I'm a green or I'm a blue. So that's kind of cute. Thank you, Patricia. So then, we need to know in order for us to be happy in what we're doing. A person who's artistic, they're more successful and satisfied if they choose the work um, the work environment to be an artistic one, with other artistic people. If not, they're going to be miserable, and that's a fact, okay? Because they don't enjoy it, and the work environments are different. Also, the values. We really strongly tell students about this because it makes a lot of difference. Your values are just basically your feelings, what guides you, your principles, what's important to you, what's worthwhile to you. Do you value independence, responsibility, recognition, work environment, income, family time, creativity, job security, helping others? And some of these values, you might have lots of them, and some you might not have some of them, or some might be um, one might not go with the other. For example, if you like job security, you might be giving up on other things like income. You could say, well, income is important to me, but job security is more important. So I rather stay in this job because it gives me that, because job security gives me family time. So it's just knowing what your values are, and that's okay. Again, it changes for all of us. It's different for all of us. Okay, so there's no right answer or wrong answer. It's just what it is best for us. So what values are most important to you? There's people, and I know that this seems like a joke, but no, there's people who might say, that on the top of my list, My value is cash, money. I want it now in my hands. Um, and then after that, my second is family, and then third, integrity. So some people might say, oh my God, you're putting integrity third, so you might be a shady person. No, it doesn't mean that. It just tells you what your values are, and you need to align them to different jobs they will make you happier. Okay. And they might be able to give you that in your life. So experiences is the fourth one. And I include this one. Usually we just talk about interests, we talk about skills, and we talk about values. This experiences is just something that we do in CATS. And I'm sure a lot of career services departments do the same. Experiences, good and bad. What does that mean? Well, again, if you have some kind of in your past, you committed some felony or you did something in your life, well, we need to talk to you about that, and you need to just be very truthful in the sense that you might not be able to study certain degrees or go into certain degrees. You could, but then you're not going to be able to have a job in that. So you might not be able to be a teacher or a nurse. So we need to know, and we want you to know in order for you to be successful and not go through something that you're not going to be able to do, actively. So experiences are very important to really look at. And again, if anybody knows about your experiences, it's yourself. Okay. A lot of people might not tell us. A lot of people might say, no, I don't want to say that. And we still talk to them about it and then give them a chance to think it over on their own. That way they know what they can and cannot do and move forward with their career plan in the right direction. So, let's see. I'm forgetting to click on this, sorry. So a stage 2 is a discover, and the discovery of what you're going to do through formal means, which is a career assessment. So we have career assessment in CATS, which is called Career Coach. It's through a company called MC, and that stands for something economics modeling something. And it's a really good, very good tool that we have for our students and for our community too, because in CATS we provide this to everybody. So you don't have to be a student to do a career plan or a career assessment, or you could just be part of the community and you could do it. Okay. And we really recommend it, especially for high school students or for those people who are really totally like lost and they don't want to face the fact that they need some push and some help. So this assessment helps you a lot, and it gives you really good information. So it helps you find your interests, skills, and values. Okay. So for example, this is an example of something that, this person might have, and we'll do it one right now, but really quick, this is what you will get. It will give you information about, the occupation, the average salary, the majors. And the most important thing about this program with us is that it's connected to the degrees that we have in the college. So you will click and then it will take you to that specific major or degree that we do have available in the college. So all of these blue things are links, are hyperlinks. So you click it and then you get information about it. Okay, this is just a very brief example because it gives you a lot of information. Also for the what you can do with your job, again, you click on the hyperlink and it tells you specifically what that person does and what kind of jobs you could do with that occupation. So, and again, we'll do one right now, but let me go on to the stage 3, which is part of also in the assessment and the career coach assessment, which is career exploration or understanding the world of work, right? Exploring. And that's what I was telling you about the time that some people might think, oh, that's a lot of time and it's time consuming. Well, but it's worth it. So with this, you're learning about the careers, the types of jobs, the education requirements, job functions, all of those things that fit with your interests and your goals. So it might be seem like a lot of time but it will give you a clear understanding of what you think you're going into. Okay. Any questions? No? Not right now? Okay. So, okay. Thank you, Manny. So if you do, just put it in the chat or just please raise your hand and I'll be happy to try to answer any questions. So the term work environment, what does that mean? Well, it's just basically, it refers to what is it that you want to work in, what environment you're going to want to work with, what elements are in the work environment, are, what kind of hours do you like to work? What's the company culture and the place that you might be thinking about? What's the benefits? Are there benefits that come with that job? The people, is there a lot of people? Is there a lot of, is there a certain way that the people interact with each other? Then you might not find it good, or you do. The professional development, do you like to a company in which they send you to training that teach you for you to continue growing in your job? The workspace, do you have your own office, or is it a cubicle, or you don't even have an office, you're in front of a desk just there waiting for people to come in? So all those things make up the work environment, and you need to really consider that too, because that's part of what you're going to be spending. Remember, we spend most of our time of our life in a job. So if you ask me, it's very, very important to know, or at least to have considered those things. Also, we have a rapid changing world, and I'm sure all of you know how things change now. Before it was a little bit different, but now it has evolved into more. It seems like things are changing constantly. And it has a lot to do with technology. And so, for example, the emerging occupations, these are some of them. It's not all of them. I just put 7. But it's, engineers in all fields, software developers, analysts, testers, online. Of course, health, anything to do with in health sciences. Also, again, robotics engineer, and I put it twice because we'll talk about how engineering for some students might seem like, well, I want to be an engineer. Well, what kind of engineer? Well, just an engineer. So there's different kinds of engineers. There's lots of types of engineers, as well as other degrees, that have a whole bunch or a big number of different types of occupations, and then the last one is that data scientist. So a lot of this stuff has to do with technology. At the same time, we have a lot of degrees or occupations that are disappearing. For example, we have the word processors and typists. Yeah, there used to be lots of opportunities in the past for that. Not no more. I had to throw away my typewriter the other day. So, well, I gave it to Goodwill. I'm sure they're trying to figure out what it is. The young people, what is this? But so there's things that they're not an occupation anymore. It's not something that it's there. It's not a possibility. So you need to think about that too. So farmers, farmers, unfortunately, lots of things are happening in agriculture. So, a lot of technology again. So so those occupations are disappearing. Travel agents. We have all sorts of kayak and Travelocity, and I don't even know, but there's a whole lot of different places where you can do your travel arrangements. So travel agents are disappearing, as an occupation. Postal service mail sorters. There's technology that has been developed, so those jobs are being done by machines. Assemblers, photographic process workers. Remember when you used to take your little roll to to the photo place, and then they process it, and so there were people who had those skills, who studied that. Well, not so much anymore. I'm sure there are, but that occupation is not very, it's not emerging. It's not something that people are studying. Computer programmers. This one, a lot of people tell me, well, and that's number 7. Well, I hear a lot about computer programming, and what do you mean it's disappearing? Well, the idea was that, I don't know if you remember, they were trying to even help little kids. Oh, we have this training for little kids to know how to code, how to program, and all of that. Well, it came to the point that the supply was so great that the demand went down, right? So now lots of people know how to program. So it's now one of those trending occupations, okay? Or there might be jobs in that, but the wages have gone down. So just to give you an example, for a lot of our students, for a lot of people, the first time that you ask, what is it they're going to do? And they say, well, I want to be a psychologist. I'm going to study psychology. I'm going to do my bachelor's in psychology, and then I'm going to be a psychologist, talk to people, counseling people. So those are the things we talk to our students. It's like, no, certain degrees you require more than that. For psychology, it's a doctorate. If you want to be a clinical psychologist and look at people and talk to them and counsel them and all that. So that would take, an average, uh, it's 8 to 12 years of higher education, to be a psychologist. And we hear that a lot. A lot of our students, psychology, I want to go into psychology. And so we try to help students to put it in perspective and for them to know how it might not be something that they can do, okay? And just with an associate. So these are the kinds of jobs with an associate's in psychology, very limited. And so we tell students, you can still get one, but this is what you'll be able to do with a bachelor's and so on and so forth. Okay. I was going to talk about the engineer, but I think that for sure we already touched on the engineering part, just how there's so many different kinds of engineers. Like how many types? There's 50 plus types, and 5 branches. So it's the chemical engineering, civil engineering, electrical engineering, and then industrial engineering and mechanical engineering. And I put some of the jobs there's tons, right? Like 50 plus. And then other types of engineering that might not fall under those 5 branches. So a lot of students, again, I want to be an engineer, and so we have to really talk to them about it. So then after you develop your plan, you need to do the work. You need to do, we really encourage you to do, internships, job shadowing, contact professionals, research scholarships, research financial options in case your degree is long term, a doctorate and all that. And most importantly, also create a resume while you're doing all of this. Why? Because a resume will give you an idea of what you have done, and then that helps you keep it updated. How many of you have done something and you forget to put it in the resume, and then when you try to put it, you already forgot what you did? That's me. So So I have in the audience, I have Laura Beltran. She's one of my staff members, and she's an awesome staff advisor, CAP advisor. And she's the one who will be doing. Laura, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi, Carla.
Hi. We called her Sunshine. Sunshine. And Miss Laura will be doing. Christine, do we still have time, or I went over too much?
We have about 5 minutes left, but if anyone is able to stay, we can go ahead and continue, so that way they'll be able to see what you're doing. And if not, you guys can always view the video. It's going to be on Blackboard on the institution link at the top of Blackboard if you're interested in viewing it later. But we'll go ahead and continue so you can finish and show them the great tools you have.
Yes.
So, thank you.
Christine, can we share the
Moderator,
with
can I
Laura?
become? Okay.
Laura, can you?
Yes,
can
she's
you
a
share your
moderator
screen?
now.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Okay. So Laura's going to share really quick. It's the tool that I was telling you about, the career coach. We have the career coach takes it's 60 questions, but we have one that is 6 questions. Like I said, it's just for fun. It's just for people to get an idea, for students to say, I want to do the 60 questions. So Laura, go ahead.
Can you all see my screen? Can you see it, Curtis? Okay. Okay, so if you can go into the search bar and type EPCC at EMSICC.com. Okay, and then we're going to click on Take the Assessment. And then you're going to sign up. And then if you can just fill in really quick, it's just the first and last name, your email, a password, your ID number, if you have one, and then current school, you're going to put El Paso. As soon as you start typing El Paso, it'll take you to El Paso Community College, and just click there. I'll give you a few seconds so you can do that. Let me know when you're done completing that, okay? And then, of course, you're going to acknowledge and then create the profile. So once you create the profile, you're going to go ahead and click on Take Assessment. And then on the assessment, it has a quick start assessment, the 6 questions that Carla was talking about, or the 60 question. Go ahead and click on the 6 question. And then, of course, answer as honest as you can. Don't worry about how much education or training you need. Don't worry even about how much money you're going to be making. Just go ahead and click on Continue. And the first question is, would you like to work hands-on with objects, machines, tools, plants, or animals? Work and play outside? Use your physical athletic abilities? You're going to answer depending how you feel about it. Strongly disagree, you're unsure, you agree, or you strongly agree. And then you keep going, you go to the next one until you're done with the 6 questions. Okay, and so once you complete the 6 questions, then it's going to give you your top 3 traits according to your character, depending on how you answered. and then it'll give you your top career matches. So in this case, like my case, it was education and training, and then that was 100% match. You can see on the right-hand side. Health science, say 74% match, and human services 74% match. We go by the top three because of course we go according to the student. We want them to go to where their best matches is at. And so once this is done, the next step is to come and visit our office, and then we'll sit with you individually, go over the results, and help you to make sure that you go into the right career. And then once we find that out, like Carla said earlier, it's not going to be a quick thing, because sometimes even when you go to the office, you don't know if it's going to, if you're sure about that career. So then, we give you some links. I provide my students with some links so they can do a little bit more research. Then they come back, and then we complete the career plan.
Mhm. So it's that simple. It's very simple, huh, Laura? And then you get people like Laura, and not because she's here, but she's awesome. She knows her stuff, and
Thank you.
more than anything, Laura is one of those people who really care about students. So she would, students come back always and say, "Oh, is Laura here? Because she's so sweet and she always listens to me." And for the most part, they say that about everybody in my staff, which I'm very proud of. So I know that we've run already over. Thank you, Laura, for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Hope to see everybody there in our office.
And so if you have, Christine has put our link, and so please make sure to contact us and make sure to let us know how we can help you. Our website is www.epcc, and I'm writing it, edu/, oh no, that's the website. She put the website. But we also have our phone number is at 831-2636. And I have it in my presentation, but I can't change it. So, okay, I'm having so much problems with this, right? So, I'm sorry. And then we're in Facebook, we're in Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, we're in everything, and it's just EPCC, EPCC Tejanos, Hire a Tejano. And so please make sure to reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to help you. And we have a virtual office, of course, okay? So thank you so much. I know that you have to go, and I want to thank all of you for coming to the presentation.
Thank you so much. That was very informative. We really appreciate you and Laura both presenting for us. So this workshop, we have just recorded it. It is going to be online at our, anytime you go on a Blackboard page, if you click at the top on institution, you'll be able to find links to this workshop, as well as all of the workshops for the Tejano virtual events. I'm going to be sharing a file with you all right now just to show you some of the great things we are going to be offering. We do have 3 series of events every week. So today is the one at 1 o'clock is on degrees and careers. And so next week we are actually going to be talking about different areas of studies and degree types. And so we'll be learning about all the different areas of studies and degree types we have here at EPCC. At 3 o'clock on Fridays is going to be our Happy Math Hour. So today they're going to be providing evaluating functions, combinations of functions, and composite functions. This is that peach colored area on the handout you're seeing at the bottom. It's at 3 o'clock today at this same link. You're going to see all of these different workshops on this same link. And then next week on Wednesday at 1 o'clock, we are going to be talking about LibGuides for first-year students, and I'll be your tour guide about the library and how you can use different services at the college to help in the first year of college. So that will be next week. Again, I did post some information on Tejano passport points that you can get. I did put 2 sites on there. I'm going to give you the actual correct link just to make sure that if you want to get a medallion by attending these workshops, you can just go to this Tejano passport. I'm going to share you that file real quick just so you can see exactly what is the Tejano passport program. You can visit this website, or you can go in the search box for the college and put Tejano Passport, and you put the link that you're going to these workshops, and you can earn medallions by coming to these workshops. We also have a great tutoring program here at El Paso Community College, and I'm going to put in the chat some information about the different tutoring services. It's got some links. We do offer 7 days a week, and they go quite late in there. I'm going to go ahead and post that for you. Sorry, I put on the wrong one. Let me give it to you one more time. And again, I thank all of you guys for coming. I appreciate everything you all do in the Career Services and Transfer Department. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend and stay safe. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.